Three of the most powerful mental models used by strategic geniuses. What if I told you that most people go through life making decisions the way a beginner plays chess, moving pieces one step at a time, reacting to whatever's in front of them, while a strategic genius is thinking 5, 10, even 20 moves ahead? The difference isn't luck, it's mental models. These are frameworks that help you see the hidden patterns behind life, business, and relationships so you can make the kind of moves that seem almost psychic to everyone else. Today, we're breaking down three of the most powerful mental models used by strategic geniuses, from billionaire entrepreneurs to military tacticians, and how you can start using them today to outthink, outmaneuver, and outperform just about anyone. Stick with me until the end, because the third model is so counterintuitive. Most people reject it instantly, but the ones who embrace it, they dominate in every arena of life. Mental model number 1: second order thinking, the chess master's mind. Most people make decisions based on first order consequences, what happens immediately after they act. Strategic geniuses think in second, third, and even fourth order consequences, what happens next, and next, and next. Let's take an example. Imagine you're a business owner and you decide to cut prices to attract more customers. First order thinking says, lower prices equals more sales equals more profit. But second order thinking asks, if I cut prices, will I attract customers who are only loyal to price? Will I start a race to the bottom? Will my competitors react? What happens to my brand reputation in the long term? Jeff Bezos built Amazon on second-order thinking. He didn't just say, let's sell books online. He thought, if we build infrastructure for books, we can later sell everything online. If we master logistics, we can dominate delivery. If we win on convenience, customers will never leave. That's not reacting, that's predicting. How to apply it today? Before making a decision, ask yourself, what happens next? And then what? And then what after that? Do this 3 to 5 times and you'll start seeing ripple effects most people never consider. Mental model number 2: inversion thinking, win by avoiding stupidity. Charles Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner, once said, "It is remarkable how much long-term advantage we have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid, instead of trying to be very intelligent." Inversion thinking flips a question around. Instead of asking, "How can I succeed?" you ask, "How can I fail?" And then you avoid those failure points at all costs. Example, if your goal is to have a happy relationship, instead of brainstorming all the things you should do, list all the things that destroy relationships: neglect, dishonesty, lack of communication, and make avoiding those your top priority. In military strategy, this is known as pre-mortem analysis, before launching a plan. You imagine it's already failed and work backward to figure out why. This prevents disaster before it happens. Why it works? Our brains are biased toward optimism. We imagine the best case scenario and overlook the small mistakes that could sink the entire plan. Inversion forces you to confront those weaknesses in advance. How to apply it today? Define your goal clearly. Ask, if this failed horribly, what would have caused it? Reverse engineer solutions to prevent those causes. If these mental models are making you realize just how powerful strategic thinking can be, you're exactly the kind of person we built this channel for. Here on 5-Minute Genius, we take the same tools used by elite thinkers and break them down so you can use them in your own life, in business, relationships, and personal growth. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe right now, because one idea here could change the way you think forever. Mental model number 3: the OODA loop. Decide before your opponent even understands the problem. The OODA loop comes from US Air Force Colonel John Boyd. It stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, Act, and it's one of the fastest, most effective strategic frameworks ever created. Boyd trained fighter pilots where split-second decisions meant life or death. His insight? If you can move through the OODA loop faster than your opponent, observing the situation, orienting yourself to reality, deciding on a course, and acting, you can stay ahead of them, forcing them into constant reaction mode. This isn't just for fighter pilots. Businesses use it to outmaneuver competitors. Leaders use it to respond to crises. Even athletes use it to anticipate and counter moves before the opponent finishes theirs. Here's the genius part: The OODA loop isn't a one-time process, it's continuous. Every time you act, you start observing again, which gives you new information to orient, decide, and act on. How to apply it today? 1. Observe, gather as much relevant, real-time information as possible. 2. Orient, interpret it through the lens of your experience, values, and the situation. 3. Decide, choose the best option available, even if it's not perfect. 4. Act, execute quickly, because speed often beats perfection. The faster you cycle through this process, the more you disrupt your opponent's rhythm, whether your opponent is a business competitor, a negotiation partner, or a personal challenge. Now, to understand it again, let us recap our 3 mental models for thinking. Like a strategic genius. 1. Second order thinking. Don't just think about the next move. Think about the chain reaction. 2. Inversion thinking. Avoid failure by identifying and eliminating the causes in advance. 3. The OODA loop. Outpace your competition by making and remaking decisions faster than they can react. Here's the thing, you don't need to be a billionaire or a military commander to use these. The moment you start applying them, you'll notice people reacting to you differently. They'll say things like, "How did you think of that?" Or "You always seem to be one step ahead." That's not luck, that's the quiet power of strategic thinking. Now you have a choice. You can file this video away as interesting and go back to thinking like everyone else. Or you can actually practice these models until they become second nature. Because once you do, you'll start playing a completely different game, and trust me, it's a game most people don't even know exists. If you want to keep sharpening that strategic edge, hit subscribe to 5-Minute Genius right now. This is where big ideas become real-life advantages, and where you'll learn to think not just smarter, but faster and further than you ever imagined. And remember, the most dangerous opponent isn't the one who's stronger, it's the one who sees more moves ahead than you. From today forward, that person can be you.